Actually, before I knock off, I've just measured this core. I'll look into what's going to be the best way to go about getting this done, whether I just buy a core or get them to do it. But for this thing here, I don't know why this has had bits chopped out of it. Like, to me, someone's chopped that out of there. I don't know why. This doesn't, that looks ugly as. That's got to be replaced. I don't know why they've chopped that out. And that's not factory. So I'm going to have to replace all those pieces. Not sure about that bit. I don't know why that's like that. Whether the top hose sort of fits in there a bit, I don't know, but we'll see. Either way, it's got a lot of dents and crap in it. It needs all fixing. Got this rough back into shape. I'm going to whoever cut that out of there, I don't know why, but I'm putting it back. I'm putting that back, and I'm putting this back. It's not supposed to be like that. You can just tell someone's hacked it out. So we'll put that all back, make that look a bit proper. Plus it loses air there. It's not good for the cooling of it. Anyway, that's enough for today. Okay, today, Sunday here, I'm going to be replacing these pieces of metal that are missing off this fan shroud. Don't know why they've been cut out, but it's not staying like that. Right, so I'm just get it done. Well, there's the first patch done. I'll just wipe a bit of bog over that. That'll do. Good enough for a fan shroud. I'll do this one next. It's got a folded edge, so I'm going to have to fold that and then do that, shape that in there. Do this bit next. There's my patch. I've got that folded edge to match the inside. Got a little folded edge there. I'll just weld that in there. That one will be done. There's that one. Very thin metal, that. The only thick metal in this car apart from the chassis is the muffler. This stuff's very thin anyway. I'll clean that up and good penetration. Then I'll finish shaping it. That's done. Then I'll do this one, the last one. There's that one done. It's good enough for now. It's got that lip in there. That one's done. I'll just give it a bit more shaping tomorrow, and that's good enough. It's just a fan shroud. I'll sandblast that when I can. I'm hoping tomorrow, and I'll put a little bit of plastic filler in there, whatever. And then I'll next is doing something with this. I don't even know if it leaks, but just those fins are just a bit ugly. So we've got to do something. We're not putting it on like that. And we'll see what happens. I've measured that core. I'll see if I can get one. I think there's a company that does custom cores, so we'll see. I've got this thing all the paint off it pretty much. Very wet here at the moment, so I'm not going to be sandblasting this. I've just taken all the paint off and I'm going to put that stuff on it. Got a bit of a funny throat at the moment, so you know, get that done. I'll just let it sit overnight, and tomorrow I'll just put a little bit of fill where it needs it in a couple of spots, and that's ready to paint. I'll start working on that radiator. Just leave that for 24 hours. And, yeah, a little bit of fill, that'll be fine. Just paint that black. You're done. It did have a little bit of damage on it here that I had to repair. There has been a couple of accidents, things like that do get damaged. Anyway, that's all done for now. Just for tomorrow I'll wipe that off, a little bit of filler, spray it. I'll prime it and then spray it. That thing's done. I've just put a couple of coats of putty on it. Spent a bit of extra time on it. That's come up pretty nice actually. I've just got to sand that down, spray it black. I'll paint that gloss black. Throat's still a bit crap, that's why I haven't really been filming and talking. This thing here is next. I'm just not sure what to do. I think the only way I can fix that is put a new core in it. I've got to get a core. I've got to pull all these tanks off. Pull all the bracketry off it. and get a core, make it fit, put it back together. Anyway, we'll see how that works out. I might try, and when my voice gets better, I'll ring a couple of radiator companies and see how much they'd charge. But for now, that's enough. I'm calling it. The next thing I'm going to have to figure out what to do with is this. I've actually just come back from the Gold Coast and been speaking to some radiator shops. A lot of them just replace radiators these days, they don't fix them, but I did find one that does repair them, and I went in there and the guy knew exactly what it was. He was doing an S600 radiator right then. So he knew exactly what it was. For me to just give him that and he repairs it is close to $1,400, which is a lot of money. So that's about $1,000 US. So I asked him would he just sell me a core, and he said he would. So basically about $850 for the core, and then I just put it together. So I'm thinking that's my best way to go, really, is just recore it. Like, we're not using that, not like that. I didn't just clean all that, everything inside out, to run all that through it. So that's what I'll do. Not today. I'm going to sweat all these brackets off, then take the tanks off, get it down to the core, and then I'll go up and see that guy and talk to him about getting a core. That's my only option. Oh, there's other options. You can just leave it like that. It seems like it's not leaking, but I want a clean radiator. Anyway, that's just where we're at right now. I actually do have one other possibility. Is that little car there has got an aluminium radiator in it, and it just so happens to be it's the exact same width as that little 600 one. Problem is it's too high, so I'm going to see if I can get it out of there without moving all this crap. I've got all these cars in the way. I've pretty much got to climb through the back, pull the hood, and I've got to move that. That's the boot lid for the little car. Unfortunately, the bonnet's not popped. I've got to pop the bonnet and get the radiator out of that and see if I can somehow make that radiator fit in that car. But I'm just going to give that I'm going to have a go at that first, just before I do that. Like, eventually, sure, we'll get that radiator, but there's a lot of money being spent on that car, and you know, we're just trying to save a few bucks here there for now. Miracle, I managed to get that out. I had to move all this steel, I had to move the car over. This car's really low, the tyres were flat. It's been parked with the handbrake on, major no-no. Never store a car with a handbrake on. Now the back wheels are seized. So I managed to pump the tyres up, both front tyres up. I was able to just get this little jack under there and lift it up enough to get the spill tray under there. And I caught a lot of the coolant. I didn't catch all of it, but I can sit on the floor till we move that car. Anyway, now I've got the radiator out, so that's something I can look at. Got that radiator out of the Civic. It was a bit of a mission, but I managed to get it out. The thing's just jammed over there in the corner. But that's actually not a bad little radiator, that. You can buy that radiator for hardly anything, $150 or something. This one here is $1,400, $1,350 or whatever. That's if you own one and you get it rebuilt. But this thing here, it's practically the same width. So, you know, I could put these tabs on it and stuff and make it all fit. That's actually, yeah, no, that's right. It goes on the other side. No, it goes on this side. Anyway, what we'll have to do, if I don't fix that, is cut this tank off, lower this. So you've got to take the bottom of that off. You've got to chop it off here, and then you've got to resolder it all back together, and then you've got it the size you want it. And then I'd have to remake these tanks, or at least cut them, fill them, and put the spouts where I want them. and put all the fittings and stuff to take, so it'll fit the car and fit that thing to it. Now I'm just going to think about which way I'm going to go. Now, there's my little sketch I've done of this thing. When it's facing that way, that's the front. Sort of looks like that. That's that bit there. Just so I know how to put it back together. Like, you can take pictures and stuff, but I will take a couple of pictures. But this phone only holds so much, so we'll see. When I'm filling it with videos, it empties, it fills quick. Okay, we'll see how this goes. Probably need 2 hands for this, but I'll just heat it up. That should just pop off. There you go. Probably going to just need 2 hands, really. See if that's loose. No, I just need 2 hands to do this. I'm going to get these brackets off first. The top's free on both of them. And the bottom. I might have to lever that out. It's too hard with one hand. That should just go pop off. See if that'll bend off. No, I've got to do it 2 hands. 2 brackets off. I'll give them a little bit of a clean up and sandblast so they can go back on. That's done. Now what you do is the same thing, but that's how you take the tanks off. I'll drop all this shit into a little container or something, but I'm not going to reuse it. See how the melting this tank off goes. Probably, I don't know, start at the bottom, I suppose. We'll see. I've got to go into a bucket of water. Got to be careful, I don't want to stuff it up. I'll probably use 2 hands, but I'm going to have to slip that out with the screwdriver as I go. Heat it up and give it a couple of taps. It should just pop off. This hammer here, give it a light tap. There's the first tank off. You can see how shitty it is inside. So I wanted to pull it all apart. You don't want that going for a new engine. For starters, the new core should look like that. It should come like that. You want it for 850 bucks. I'll just take this bottom one off now and it's fully apart. The bottle ran out. I'll get another on the Savi. There's still most of the lead there. Chuck it in the bin, but Yeah, this just needs to be all cleaned out. Like, you don't want that going through the new engine. No way, hell. That's why I wasn't going to put it on like that. That's just that bit. All this will get cleaned out. There's a few dents in this. I'll knock them out. The radiator guy wouldn't do them. I'll make that all nice and straight. And put it back together. You know, they charge $500 to do that. Realistically, if you can't do that in half an hour, max an hour, take the rest of that off tomorrow. I'll go get a new bottle for Savia. I've got to go up the coast anyway. I've got this stuff all apart. That thing there came loose, but it just needs to be resoldered. This thing's just, that's why you don't use an old radiator. It's nearly every one of them is blocked. So that will be getting hoiked. I ain't even going to bother cleaning that. And that's the top. So the bottom's not much better. I've just cleaned all this stuff up. It's pretty much ready just to solder back together. It's all tinned and everything ready to go. I'm just going to knock all the dents out of this stuff. I've done most of that. That was pretty badly dented, that. Anyway, that's enough for today. I've got enough stuff to do. Other stuff, I should say. I've had a win with the starter. It all works now. That was the part that I changed in there, the sprocket for the starter sprocket. It was worn, so that works perfectly now. So I've hooked up this, put this belt on. Apparently that's how it's supposed to help it as well, but I can't see how. It all runs off that, the whole thing. So that's done. That's ready to go. I've gapped the plugs, put them in. I've got the stuff to build the ignition wires set up and everything. I've got the plug caps off a GSX 750, GSXR 750 Suzuki. To me they look like the right ones. They fit perfectly. So I've got the wire. So I've just got to cut it and assemble all that. That's pretty much ready to go. That motor's ready, pretty much ready to fire. I just got to hook fuel up to it, get a coil, get it sparking. There's no reason why it won't go. It's pretty tricky getting that to line up, but it actually only goes in one way, obviously. But I had that mixed up. I had this knuckle around the wrong way. It only goes one way, so that's got to be the way it goes. I thought it went up the other way, but I'm looking at it upside down on the picture that I've got, so it's and inside out. You just got to frig around with it till you get it. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm having a bit of a rest. I'm just happy that the starter's fixed. That's good. That's something good. We needed a win. Anyway, tomorrow I want to try and get this rest of this hooked up. I'm not 100% sure how this torsion bar thing adjusts, and like I want to get it to the right height. I want it right. I don't want it too high. I'm pretty sure you can't have it too low. I just want to have it a nice stance. So tomorrow, that's tomorrow. None of this stuff's tight. So I'm just putting it in like that, hand tight, get it all together, then I'll tighten it up. I'll get both sides like that, and then I'll assemble the brakes. And the thing can roll. And unfortunately, we need wheels. You know, there's still things. I'm not sure what goes on here. Like, that's part of the cooling system. And that must hook up to something, but I don't know what, because that wasn't, that was all wrecked. So I finally got that on. It's just, I don't know, just getting everything in the right spot, all the bolts and the washers and everything. It's just a bit tricky. It is a pretty tricky little setup. You've got this little lever here operates the torsion bar, and that's adjustable. So you've got to pretty much figure out which way that goes. That's, to me, was the main bit that was tricky. I finally got that on after having that on and off 10 times. Hopefully the other side's a bit easier. We'll see. It goes up and down. That's the way it is. I'm pretty happy with it. That's done. All I've got to do is put the brakes on there. Now to the other side. Now other side, right, if you ever find yourself doing this, basically that comes out at 45. So that can obviously go in different positions, and to change the position of that little lever you got to pull this all off. So yeah, basically I had that other side off a dozen times, just trying to make sure I had it in the right spot, and that's basically where it goes as far as I can see. And you've got a bit of an adjustment here, so you can adjust that later. Just sort of throw that in. It's easier to throw this on now, and then I did it a bit different the other side, but this is probably the easiest way to do it. Put this on next, and like that's basically all together now. So all I've got to do is just put this knuckle on and the shock, and a few other bits, and that's pretty ready to, level at the same level as the other side. So I'll probably get it up to that today, and then that'll do. I'll put the brakes and stuff on tomorrow. I'll be putting on this knuckle, and it can go up either way, but it only works one way. So these holes here are bigger. That's what that mounts to. That's for your steering. When I first put that on, I had that down the bottom, and I was looking at a picture of it, and it was just upside down. And like I said, it only goes one way. If you put it on like that, that knuckle won't reach the rack, the tie rod. So this is the next part I'm putting on this. And there's the other side. That's definitely the easier way to do it. I've got all these little things lined up. I've got split pins where I've got to get more, but they're lined up ready to go in. Tomorrow I'll be putting the brakes on the front, and that thing's ready to roll. It's ready to roll, but I'm going to try and fire it up soon. I've still got to do is build this ignition, the wires, and get it sparking, and then I'll set up an umbilical and just get it to go. And then the body's going on. Saturday morning here, I'm just assembling the brakes. I'll do this side first. Got all new nuts and washers and the bolts and everything for that. But I was just on the phone to the chrome plater. He's no problem at all. He's going to look after us there for sure. I'm going to send him photos of the stuff wrecked and values, and he's going to shoot it off to the assessor. So we'll be getting compensated for that, no problems. Things are getting close as you empty out containers. All these containers were full of parts. They're all empty. There's two of these big things here. Another one over there. I've just got the core in there. That's the radiator core. That's getting replaced. There's still a few things in there, but it's really getting close. I'll put those caps on. I've just got to go to the shop and get some split pins, go over the nuts here and put split pins here, then I can put them caps on. Well, that's all done now. It spins really nice, that. He's ready to wheel around. It's just something this car hasn't done for a long time. Well, there's all that stuff on. I've decided to get rid of the R clips, and I've got new split pins. They're not really meant for that. But anyway, I've given it a bit of a wheel alignment just sitting like that, so I've just adjusted the toe. Once I get it on the ground and gets all its weight on it and wheel it a bit, I'll do it properly. That's pretty much ready to put the wheels on, and I've got to get a radiator sorted out, which will be happening soon. And right now I'm going to work on the bumper bars and the headlights surrounds, tail light surrounds. I've got to get them in primer just for now, and then I'm going to work on the ignition system, get some spark happening, get this thing going. That stuff there, I've practically sanded all the chrome off it. I just did it with it's like a linisher thing I've got. So what I've sprayed this primer sealer stuff that's also a rust converter inside and out. They're pretty much safe, those parts, but they're never getting chromed. I'm just going to paint them in like fake chrome or silver or whatever, and for now that's what they're going to. They'll get it put on like that, but eventually we'll get new ones. That when they come up and the money's there, they'll be getting just new ones. So for now they're going to be getting painted. I've got to get the core and put this together. Tomorrow I'll get the bumper bars up to that stage over there. These will be getting chromed.
They'll definitely be getting chrome, but I'll probably also paint these just for now. But I've got to sand all this chrome off. And like, it's a big job, especially I really need someone to hold on to them. Anyway, as for this, we've got 3 wide wheels and 1 skinny wheel. Which I need either 1 more wide wheel or 3 skinny wheels, whatever. I'd rather put the skinny ones on it myself, but the wide ones look better. But they're just not made for this car, wide wheels. Anyway, I'll probably just slap a little video, show you what's going on. I also want to thank one of the guys that watches these videos, Leo. He's helped us out with some door handles and door buttons and the posts for the wipers. They look quite good. So thanks for that, mate. That's awesome. Well, I'll just sign off by saying thanks for watching the videos and thanks for the support, everyone that's helped us out. Thanks very much.